Welcome to the God Project. This reading is entitled Tomorrow's World by William J. Eisenman, D.D. People calling themselves Christians and claiming to have an understanding of the Bible and God's plan for humans believe their immortal soul goes to heaven when they die or to hell. Their conception of tomorrow's world, if they are good, is spending eternity in heaven with God. None of this is in the Bible, and none of it is true. In tomorrow's world, that is the millennium, there will be world peace, no sickness, only health for all. There will be right education because the devil will have been put away, Revelation 20, verses 1 through 3. And there will be prosperity for all, and no poverty, no crime, a utopia on earth. But there will be no utopia without a change in human nature. Human nature results in vanity, lust, greed toward self, jealousy, envy, hostility, and resentment of authority. Jeremiah 17, verse 9, and Romans 8, verse 7. The devil fosters human nature. Before tomorrow's world is ushered in, there will be World War III, Matthew 24, verse 22. This world war would result in the annihilation of all human life if Jesus were not to intervene. But these armies will fight Jesus at his return. Jesus will be considered the Antichrist, an alien invader. Revelation 17, verse 14. Zechariah 14, verses 1 through 12. Acts 1, verse 19 through 11. Matthew 24, verse 30. 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 14 through 17. Romans 8, verse 11 and verse 14. Luke 13, verse 28. 1 Corinthians 15, verses 50 through 54. This is what misguided Christians refer to as the rapture. That is 1 Corinthians 15, verses 50 through 54. Jesus and the resurrected elect will defeat these armies and will set up headquarters at Jerusalem, as Isaiah 60, verse 5. God's government in tomorrow's world will not be democratic, fascism, communism, or socialism. It will be divine government, government from the top down. There will be no elections, and humans will play no part. All governmental officials will be appointed by Jesus, the King of Kings, in tomorrow's world. All these appointees will be alien spirit beings like Jesus. Under God's government, Jesus will rule for the highest good of all the people. Some of these alien spirit beings, gods, will rule over 10 cities and some over 5. Luke 19, verses 17 through 19. In tomorrow's world, there will be peace, happiness, abundance, and justice for all. Hebrews 8, verse 10. Human nature will be put under subjection, and all crime and rebellion will be put down by divine supernatural force. Jesus and the other spirit being rulers will set about re-educating the world. It will be evident by then that humans cannot govern. Isaiah 59, verse 4 and verses 7 through 10. In tomorrow's world, there will be a union of church and state, and there will be one God, one religion, one educational system, one social order, all united. The economy will be on the international level, the same for every nation, a world economy. Famine and starvation will be eliminated, as well as poverty. Prosperity will be universal. All the waste places that occurred as a result of World War III will be rebuilt. Isaiah 61, verse 4. Urban renewal. All the world will have one new language. Zephaniah 3, verse 9. Without the without the devil to deceive, Revelation 12:9, the entire world will undergo re-education. Micah 4, verses 1 through 3. There will be no sex in tomorrow's world. No male and females on the spirit level. Matthew 22, verse 30. People will learn honesty, kindness, chastity, happiness, and well-being. God will make most of the earth to grow food. Deserts will be made green, and God will change the weather patterns, and mountains will be flattened. Amos 4, verse 13. Psalm 90, verse 2. The entire surface of the earth will be reshaped. The frozen areas of the earth will bloom, and the wilderness will become pools of water. Trees will be planted, Isaiah 41, verses 14 through 20, and Isaiah 35. Much land will be reclaimed from the oceans, Isaiah 11, verse 15. All the earth will be made habitable and populated. Health will prevail, Isaiah 33, verse 2 through 24. Isaiah 35, verses 3 through 6. Jeremiah 30, verse 17. Jeremiah 31, verses 12 through 14. All the wealth in the world is God's. Haggai 2, 6 through 8. And in tomorrow's world, standards will never change. There will be no speculating or gambling as Wall Street continues to do today. There will be no stock markets and no getting rich on the backs of others, on their labor or creative ability. There will be no more world banks, insurance companies, loan agencies, or credit. No more interest or usury. And no more taxes. But there will be a universal tithe of 10%. Humans will learn the way of give and being content with contentment. 1 Timothy 6, verses 6 through 8. Matthew 6, 19 through 21. And 31 through 33. Luke 6, verse 38. And 1 Timothy 6, 9 through 10. Wild animals will be tamed, and each man will have his own land and vine. Micah 4, verse 4. Which if he sells, will revert back to him after 50 years, and all debts will be canceled. God's economics is a far cry from the capitalism that we worship today. The end.